When it comes to living life, there's a lot to overthink, but I don't ever have to overthink my water. I've been drinking Smart Water for years and truly love its pure, crisp taste. It's vapor distilled through a process inspired by clouds. I love chic branding, and Smart Water's sleek bottle shape makes it the perfect accessory for any day bag, workout tote, or backpack. Smart Water is the smart way to hydrate no matter what you have going on in your life. Life is full of choices. Smart Water is a simple one. Visit drinksmartwater.com to learn more.
Hear that? Yeah, that's the sound of you relaxing, because now you're managing diabetes with the Freestyle Libre 3 system. You get to know your glucose levels and where it's headed. Manage your diabetes with more confidence with the Freestyle Libre 3 system. Ready to learn more about the #1 prescribed CGM in the U.S.? Visit freestylelibre.us to learn more. Based on retail sales data for patients' last filled prescription by manufacturer. Refer to the FLAIR NL4 study published in BMJ Open Diabetes Research and Care 2019. Safety info found at freestylelibre.us.
This is Dr. Laurie Santos from the Happiness Lab. Many people have questions about how to improve levels of happiness. Living a healthy lifestyle is one sure way of increasing happiness. And a good place to start is with your oral health. Just a few small changes to your oral care routine, such as changing your toothpaste to Colgate Total, can lead to beneficial changes in your oral health. Colgate Total helps stop oral health problems like gingivitis and cavities before they start, because preventing oral health problems is a lot easier than treating them. Be dentist ready and get Colgate Total at shop.colgate.com/total.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rachel Zoe.
And I'm Roger Berman.
And you're listening to Works for Us, where we talk to people about what works for them in their relationships and, of course,
what doesn't.
So today, our guests are the absolute best definition of a power couple. They are both incredibly talented designers, entrepreneurs, respectively, who have blended their families together, big families together, in the most incredible, beautiful way that Roger and I will say are lucky enough to have seen firsthand over the years. When you see them together, you just know they are meant to be. The magic is there. I am talking, of course, about our dear friends, Tommy Hilfiger and his beautiful, magical wife, Dee Ocleppo Hilfiger. Tommy is an award-winning designer who has created one of the most recognizable and widely distributed brands in fashion, I'm going to say in the world, because I know that for a fact. His clothing has been championed by everyone from Snoop Dogg to the Rolling Stones. The brand remains beyond fresh, beyond relevant. He's done incredible collaborations, most recently with Zendaya, may have heard of her, and incredible initiatives like the See Now, Buy Now extravaganza concept, which also is brilliant.
Rachel,
yes.
I don't think we want to
talk too much about Tommy.
Yeah, I mean, because let's talk about Dee for a second.
I agree, Roger.
Can we just talk? You guys are in a podcast right now, so you can't visualize what I'm seeing, but Dee Ocleppo Hilfiger is not only drop dead gorgeous, she's also a designer whose career began in modeling, of course,
Shocking.
for the high fashion houses in Europe. The success of her first venture into accessory design led to instant recognition with award-winning designs and the creation of the bag bar patent, which she sold to Kate Spade & Company.
No
Just what
deal.
the Hilfigers need. More money. Since establishing her namesake line, her leather goods have become coveted across trendsetters of timeless elegance, including Pippa
Rachel
Middleton,
Zoe. No, I'm just kidding.
Olivia Palermo, and Beyonce. I think I've heard of most of them. She's also the creative director of American Evening handbag couture house, Judith Lieber, who everyone loves, and is responsible for reinvigorating the energy of that brand, which I think we've all seen. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Best intro. We need 2 days just to introduce
Woo!
you guys.
We got to get some more slackers on our show.
Welcome to Works for Us, you guys. Okay, so before I jump into your story and how you met, I want to ask, Tommy, do you remember how we met? And if you don't, that's okay, because you've met 10 billion people in your life.
I was sitting in my office in New York City, and my brother Andy brought you into my office and said, you have to meet Rachel. She's working for 17 magazine, and she's got great style. She is not only stylish herself, but she's also a great stylist. She knows what's going on in the business. I met you. I saw what you were wearing. I thought, wow, she's very cool. So we hired you to do a shoot.
The biggest job of my life. I literally start sweating like
Tommy
thinking
literally
about it.
gave Rachel Zoe her
Yes.
big break, just so everyone's aware of
And
that.
I never let him forget it. I told Dee when I first met her, I think that the question I get asked most in my career is, how did it start? Who gave you a break? What was your biggest thing? And everyone's like, oh, was it this? Was it that? Was it this? I'm like, it was none of those things. It was someone who takes a chance on you and believes in you way more than you believe in yourself, especially when you're so young and scared of everything. And so, Tommy, forever I will thank you for that. So I'm gonna start by saying thank you for that.
Well, thank you for that, because that shoot and those photos are historical.
Historical. It was the biggest thing I ever saw in my entire life. And what's bizarre is, as I sit here in LA and every time I go to the Griffith Observatory or even go by it or anyone talks about it, it's the first thing I think of. Recreating the White House and Peter Arnell, and that whole thing was so incredible. So I want to then go to works for us and sort of how we like to start this, because the most important thing that we talk about today is how you guys began, how you started, how did your relationship start, and this magical, because like I've said to you guys before, I remember when Tommy introduced Dee to me and he was awestruck. He
I
was
remember
like,
that too, actually.
at the Mercer.
Yeah.
And he said, I've met the love of my life.
He was like a little boy.
He was like a little school boy.
He was very excited to show
come
her
meet my
off.
girlfriend.
He was very excited to show her off, if I remember correctly.
I see you guys with your relationship, and it's very inspirational. I see you with your boys.
Agree.
I mean, it's so inspirational. I see you making pancakes in the morning for the boys, and it reminds me of us, because we are so engaged with our children. Like Sebastian, I mean, we just picked him up from school, and I said, "This is the best day, or best time
it's the best
of the day."
We're actually loving homeschooling, which we're not supposed to. But let me tell you, every 5 minutes, I just see my little kids,
and runs by them and hugs them.
I just run by them and hug them, and I'm like, "Oh my God, they're doing math. That's so cute." Everything's just so cute. I can't deal with it.
Oh, we're the same. Exactly.
It's the best. You guys, there's something to this homeschooling thing if you can navigate through it.
So how did you guys meet?
How did you meet? Because I don't think I actually know how you actually met, like the first time.
I think it was in Saint-Tropez, from what I understand.
Right, Roger. It was in...
You guys look like you're in Saint-Tropez right
by
now,
the way.
You always look like you're in Saint-Tropez.
We're not in Saint-Tropez. We're in a hotel room. But we're in Palm Beach, and we're in a very beautiful place, just as beautiful as Saint-Tropez.
So how did you meet? So what tell me, like what happened?
Go ahead, Dee.
It
sounds like a
I love the look on her face. Okay, tell me.
No, she. When I tell the story, I don't add in all the detail. She's got the detail.
Yeah, but can I tell you something, guys? Every couple that we have interviewed, we ask this question, and I swear, without fail, the story varies
There's
from
different versions.
100%.
Always.
Okay, well,
And it is
my version.
hilarious.
And
Yes.
then
Yeah, we usually
wanna
hear the two versions.
Do we have 3 hours?
We'll opine on which one we think is the most accurate.
All right. Well, I'll start just by saying that I was on the beach with my 2 children, with my girlfriend who was there with 2 dogs. And I'm trying to think exactly how it went down. I actually went to a bar to get some change for my son who wanted to buy something. And Tommy's yoga instructor approached me at the bar and started talking to me and asked me if I wanted to come on a party.
You had a Wrangler, Tommy?
He did.
He had a Wrangler.
He had a Wrangler.
Oh, well, my God. This is amazing.
I couldn't just pay him to do yoga. I needed to do something.
Tommy, there's a reason why you're a business titan.
I love you. This is amazing. Okay.
So I I politely declined because I actually was there on a weekend with my kids with no nanny and was not really there to, I was like a weekend with my kids.
Sure. Sure.
Right.
It's like a different mindset.
Different mindset.
Of course.
I've got the kids. I have no nanny. I have no plans to go out. So I just said, no, I can't. But then I thought, well, my girlfriend has dogs and she, she's single. She probably wants to go out. So I said, I can't, but my girlfriend probably can. And, I said, we're sitting over there. I showed him where I was sitting. She was in the water. Long story short, he later comes up to where I was sitting on the beach and introduces me to his friends, which were Henry, Alex, and Tommy. That's how he introduced me. This is Henry, Alex, Tommy, not Tommy Hilfiger. They all have glasses and hats on. And I'm just, hey. And I said, well, my girlfriend's still in the water, but here's my, number. And if you call me, then I'll give her the details. So later on, I get a message on my phone saying, hi, this is Tommy Hilfiger. You just met me on the boat. And I know on the beach. And if if I understand you don't have a babysitter, but you could bring your kids on my boat and I'll have the crew make them chicken fingers. And I sent this message. And first of all, I had no idea that was Tommy Hilfiger that came on the boat. And I'm listening to this message with my mouth open. And I made my girlfriend, I'm like, you need to listen to this. Tell me if you think this is real or if this is a joke or, and we were laughing. And so sure enough, I was like, okay, I dressed my kids up in their little, matching Oxford shirts and lectured them on, good behavior. And we showed up with my girlfriend and my two kids on this boat, and he was having a party with a lot of people. And he actually was with there was a lot of people. He was actually with another woman. And that was the first time that I actually realized that he was straight.
Yes.
I love you so much.
Dee.
The deep love.
We're very similar creatures.
Deep love.
Dee. Yes. So after Skylar and Caius were born, I was honestly afraid that my hair would never be the same. I'm someone that has always leaned on my hair for security, for hiding my face when I'm having a bad day. For just really being the thing that I hold on to no matter where I am. And I don't know, I've just always had a really personal attachment to my hair since I was young. And I really thought that after I had my children, that my hair, the fullness of my hair that I've had my entire life would really never come back. And thousands of women, myself included, have really taken back control of their hair with Nutrafol. Nutrafol offers 2 targeted formulas for women that are clinically shown to improve hair growth and thickness with less shedding. Nutrafol Women is ideal if you're experiencing thinning hair caused by stress, dieting, overstyling, and environmental toxins. While Women's Balance is formulated with additional hormone support for those with thinning hair through menopause. And if you're not sure what's best for you, you can visit Nutrafol.com and take their hair wellness quiz for personalized product recommendations that are unique to your hair's needs. Healthier hair growth takes time. You'll begin to experience thicker, stronger, faster growing hair in 3 to 6 months. I promise this is actually true. In my personal experience, after using Nutrafol consistently for 3 months, I really started to see and feel a difference in my hair. In a clinical study, 86% of women reported improved hair growth after 6 months, and more than 1,500 top doctors recommended Nutrafol as an effective and high-quality solution for healthier hair. You can actually grow thicker, healthier hair and support our show by going to Nutrafol.com and entering the promo code ZOE to save $15 off your first month subscription. This is their best offer anywhere, and it's only available to U.S. customers for a limited time. Plus, free shipping on every order. Get $15 off at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code ZOE, ZOE.
Yeah, I was like, oh, wow, he's straight and he's like single. And it was a lot to process that night. So that was like the initial night that we met. And then he invited me the next day for lunch, and there was less people at the lunch, and we got to talking and got to know each other, and kind of the rest is history. We just hit it off. When we finally had a chance to sit down, just the two of us, and talk, we hit it off. Great, I would say.
Well, she was an American living in Europe, and I was an American visiting Europe. And the thing that really connected us was the fact that we both had children with disability.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Disabilities.
Yep.
And we started talking about that and how that has affected our lives.
Yep.
So we had a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a lot in common.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was like struck. I mean, I was like, wow, she's incredible, because she was real. She was down to earth. She was like, I could just tell she was like beyond any of my dreams and expectations of someone I would actually meet.
Sure.
Wow.
And
I have such chills.
The beginning of our long journey. Now it's over 15 years.
Amazing.
I can't believe that.
It's over 15
cannot
years.
believe it's over 15 years, you guys.
Yeah.
God, I feel like I met you, Dee, like 7 years ago, like tops,
This was 2005. We met in July of 2005 that we met.
Wow, guys.
And
That is crazy.
Did you get engaged?
Or no, like, was it a date?
Was it like a quick thing, or?
Well, here's
they
the
said
thing.
the rest was history from lunch.
The rest is history. But
So
did
we have
that
to
date
ask.
continue, or was there many dates?
Did
like
you
that?
never leave, I guess is a question. Because we've had a lot of guests
We
in
had
our...
starts and stops.
We had
That
starts
was
and stops.
Okay.
the beginning of what was to be a few stops and starts, because remember that I was living in
Europe.
Mexico at the time. I was living in Monte Carlo. He flew back to New York. And, we really didn't we stayed as, we sort of liked each other a lot, but we were living in different continents. I believe he went
Which is
back
so hard.
to his ex. He had a girlfriend
Right.
he went back to. I went
Right.
back to my life. Then we picked it up again maybe 8 months later.
Well, then she
Okay.
came to New York and we were going to have lunch.
Right.
And she canceled the lunch. And
Dee.
and she said, I'm going to Turks and Caicos. And I said, oh, well, how have you really been in New York? Have you been having a good? Yeah. I said, oh, what did you do? She said, oh, I had a date last night. I said, oh, who did you have a date with? Anybody? And so
No names.
another
Person.
another name you're familiar with. I'm thinking,
Okay.
She's dating all these like major like superstars. She doesn't want anything to do with me, but we could still remain friends.
Oh.
So we remained friends, and fast forward to the spring, I invited you to CFDA Awards and then the Met Ball. And anyway, then it started rolling.
I mean, who doesn't like putting on a dress?
And that was it. Wait, and so that was it.
It was almost it.
I love this though.
We had an engagement party with Leonard Lauder, and we were about to get married. We had 888 as a date to get married. And then we had a few hiccups before that. We canceled that wedding.
It's all right. We
Yeah, we
canceled
did that
ours.
too.
We did one of
Broke
those.
up
We did
for
one of
a
those.
little while. I think we went through that freak out stage.
Right.
Because obviously we both had failed marriages and
Yep.
didn't want
You
to
had a panic attack.
do that again.
Yep.
But then we did wind up finally getting back together, I think in September of 2009.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Was it 2009? September 08. Was it?
It was 08.
It was 08.
08. Yeah.
It was September. We got back together and wound up getting married
In
that
December.
Wow.
And where'd you get married?
In our house in a library
In Connecticut.
in Connecticut.
In Connecticut,
No one
that's
else
what I
there. I mean, it was
Right.
just him and I, and
just us.
and there was no real family or friends other than I think the security guard was our witness, and we had the
Local justice of the peace
local
come.
justice
Oh
of the
my goodness.
because
but-
we didn't want to, it was too complicated.
Yeah.
Invite so many people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who needs it?
yeah. it was a
I
lot
think if we were you, we would have done the same because I think it would be overwhelming. I think it's almost like you have to have 1,000 or none.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
I don't know how
it
you
was great
didn't-
because otherwise also our kids were all spread all over
Of
the
course.
place.
Yep.
And literally, like when Tommy said, okay, well, we're going to do this, I was literally like with the Justice of Peace, I'm like, you better get over here before he changes his mind. Get over here fast and let's call it a day. We don't have time to send out invitations.
Oh my God.
It's so cute.
That is the cutest
And then
story.
we were married and it was like, okay,
And
time
that was
to
it.
really bring the families together. And then you're even more than the Brady Bunch.
How many
I mean,
do you have?
literally,
Wait,
you
how
put
many
the-
kids between you guys?
7.
7.
Seven.
And I believe the Brady Bunch was only
right.
6. So like they're slackers. You
Yeah.
guys
Ashton
really.
together, you have 2.
Yeah,
oh my
7.
goodness.
It's his, mine, and ours.
It's
so
2, 4,
His, mine,
and
and
1.
ours.
I think it's 2, 4, and 1, right? 4, 2, 1.
Yeah. And so that's always, I think that we've done a very good job with everybody, because I think that's always challenging, combining 2 families.
The biggest challenge, I think, of all of it.
But at the end of the day, if your kids see how happy you
Yes.
are and everybody respects one another in the way that they should.
Yes.
And they do.
And they do, and we have that understanding, then, it's all good and everybody's happy. Everybody benefits in our family, or, when I'm talking about the children all gain and benefit when both of us are happy.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. And I think that's such an important lesson, because that's something I definitely tell every friend, anyone who's going through any kind of like relationship hardship or whatever. I'm always like, you have to just understand one thing. If there's one thing I know from being, 30, because I'm around 30, 32, is that kids know if the parents are happy and they feel loved, that's the thing that matters most. It almost like doesn't, I don't want to say it doesn't matter if they end up together, if they remarry, if they are surrounded by parents who are happy, genuinely happy together, they feel that. And contrary to that, they know when they're not happy.
Yeah.
What an amazing story, you guys.
amazing.
That's actually an incredible story, because I don't know that that's the story, certainly that I didn't know. I thought it was like a 2-week story. Like I thought it was like met, Saint-Tropez, came home, got married like a month later, and the rest is history.
No.
We
I
have
love that.
a little bit of a journey.
We
but
had-
I love that. It makes it worth
I'm
it.
just thrilled that Tommy Hilfiger's here in person and that this didn't happen in the 1800s.
Oh my God.
And that we have modern
What is
technology
this? You didn't know I
to
was
have
alive?
Tommy Hilfiger on
You
our
guys,
podcast today.
What is this? Is this for real?
It's amazing how this technology existed so long ago. We could bring it back for you folks here and actually have a
forgot to tell you
conversation
I
with
was
the Tommy Hilfiger.
Wait, you guys, what happened? I don't understand.
By the way, I was thinking it's literally
it's the greatest thing ever, actually.
It's literally, you know what it is? It's the biggest brand accomplishment a brand can make. A brand could have. No, I'm serious.
Because
I think
people are so obsessed with
because
Tommy
the
the
brand means so much more than the that's the goal.
dream.
I think it's like self-actualization in terms of what you want for a brand. I'm being honest. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, holy shit, he really did
look.
it. He really did it. And I'm being honest.
Not that you didn't think
Because
that
that just
morning or
means that it
anything.
transcends you, the person, and that means that the brand has real value and it means things to someone else beyond you, and that's what a brand is. I think it's amazing.
But I
personally think it's
want to
amazing.
hear them. I actually want to understand
little
what
weird,
happened, you
but
guys.
amazing.
What actually happened? Why is this happening? Does anybody know?
So you know Law Roach, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Law called me and he said, I'm doing this.
Zendaya's stylist, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know.
Exactly. He said, I'm doing this TikTok thing. And I've done it with Tom Holland. I'm doing it with Tiffany Haddish. And I'd like to do it with you. Do you mind? I said, what is it? He said, well, I'm going to call you. And anyway, long story short.
It was a prank.
It was a prank.
Okay.
And then I guess it went viral where people said, wait, there's a Tommy Hilfiger? I mean, a lot of young people said, wait, I thought Tommy Hilfiger was like dead.
Yeah, it's like Chanel, right? I mean, you think of the brand, it's just like an iconic brand. You have no idea. I mean, people that don't know
But there's
you.
Chanel and there's Carl, but there's Tommy and there's Tommy.
But I'm just saying, I think it's incredible, frankly.
But I mean, it's surreal and bizarre and weird. And by the way, you guys, Tommy is very much alive and healthy and strong and happy and father to now 7 children. So do you work together? Do you Dee, when you're designing, do you bring Tommy in and vice versa?
all the time.
Is it like sort of having an ace in the spade? Like, I don't really kind of having a creative block. Tommy!
Probably vice versa.
Like,
because
how nice is this? You could be like, oh, Tommy, what do you think about this?
No,
And vice
I
versa.
actually think that Tommy probably said,
But it's amazing if you
Dee,
think
do you
about
like
it.
this? Would you wear this? Right?
No, all the time.
Oh, back and forth all the time.
That's what I'm saying. It's amazing.
The reason why one of the many reasons why I love and respect you guys so much is I really do see you as a couple very similar to us, where, there's genuine love and respect and adoration. And we work together like I know you guys work together.
Yes.
Same thing. We really like to be in one another's company. We're best friends. And everything goes through me. Everything goes through him.
Yeah.
We discuss
Exactly.
everything.
You're a unit.
But I will say, you guys, the one thing that one of many things that you guys do, I think a big thing that I think our listeners should know, that I think a huge part of the success of your relationship, to your point, is how you nurture each other, you support each other. But I think that the demise of some relationships that I've seen have been jealousy between each other, for each other's success, and not rooting for each other. And you obviously root for each other. And I think it's important to talk about how important that is in a relationship and in a marriage, to root for each other, to just always want the other one to succeed, and his success is mine and my success is his. And it's not a competition. We're all playing for the same team, right? Do you feel that way?
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. I think it's 1 + 1 = 4. Rather than 1 + 1 = 2. Because look, it's not difficult to share your opinions and your ideas.
Yep.
I think it's very easy.
Yes.
And I think it makes it much more exciting anyway.
It's like you said, it's not I win or he wins. It's we win.
100%.
And also because you work together. Otherwise, I mean, literally, Tom would come back from a week of doing whatever business and be like, "How was your trip, honey?" I just always find that very interesting. Like, I don't know, for relationships, right? I never understood like one of the spouses is there, the other one leaves, they do their thing, they come back, they tell them about it, but like there's so many.
We love to be together.
There's so many like missing pieces that are there, and it's just interesting for me because we've always been this way. We just roll. I mean, we just roll together and just figure it out.
I think we're lucky that we get to be able to work together.
Yes, it's a gift.
No, you have to work hard at it.
And it is a gift if you have that kind of relationship and you can work together. Because like you said, I can't imagine it being any different.
So this sounds like a lovely love affair.
Well,
can you maybe tell everyone what your biggest fight might be since you're married? Because it can't be this good all the time.
It might be. It might. And by the way, if it is, that's okay too.
Do we have any fights we want to share?
It could be a funny one too. Because Raj and I are a little more like Lucy and Ricky. We bicker. We bicker and recover.
These two are perfect.
We're sort of in a nomadic stage right now because we sold our house in Connecticut, which was our main residence.
I cried a river over that. I'm not going to lie.
Right.
And I had a real moment with that.
I feel like you posted a picture like goodbye or something.
I literally was like weeping.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
Sad.
No one asked me. No one talked to me.
Yeah. Rachel was a little upset that she wasn't just consulted.
We put it on the market. We thought it was going to take a couple of years to sell.
Sure.
Maybe a year, maybe two, maybe. We never thought it was going to sell in less than 30 days.
Oh my God.
And
it did?
It was an offer we really couldn't refuse.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So we had to scramble. Oh. And now we're living between a hotel room in the week in Miami on weekends, and we're not completely settled yet.
Right.
And last weekend we were still unpacking boxes. We have to do it ourselves. You can't hire somebody to
you have to do your own stuff.
What's COVID been like for you guys with all this moving and packing? Like, how do you deal with it?
There's been some tense, frustrating moments where I would say just get frustrated, and maybe he's around, so I might take it out on him.
Sure, of course. We have those all the time. Well, and also you kind of take it out on the person you're most comfortable with. I'm sort of like,
Anything tech related, I get yelled at. I don't know why, but she can't deal with tech. I'm yelled at.
Okay, but one thing I really want to bring, and you guys mentioned it before. So you have 7 kids blended. You guys have blended so beautifully as two families coming together. But I think it's really important, as you mentioned, to talk about your dedication to autism and bringing awareness to autism. So do you want to just talk about that for a second? And as you mentioned, how you connected when you first met.
And even before that, just to set it up, I think for me personally, what is it, or what is the definition? Because I think that it's kind of thrown around a lot. And I just kind of, do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, they have a lot of thoughts, I imagine.
Just how people, because it's always like, oh, people, there's more people. And I just think the testing's better and the tools are better now. So like, what is the status, I guess?
Well, I mean, I think that first of all, when you're talking about autism, it's not like it's a plural, because for every autistic, there's a known expression for every autistic person that you meet. It's like you've met one autistic person. So I have a 26-year-old son, and Tommy has a 26-year-old daughter that both have their versions of being on the spectrum.
Okay.
Which means that they have different kinds of strengths, different kinds of weaknesses. But the thing that runs through the common thread of what they do have is difficulty with socializations.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Idiosyncrasies that are not completely normal.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They think differently. They act differently.
Yeah.
There's like a developmental delay in how they process information in social situations.
Yeah.
So it leaves them very, very vulnerable, because a lot of times if somebody says something, they take it very literally with a lot of nuances, a lot of people you can't really be
sarcastic.
I was going to say sarcastic,
Right.
or
They don't understand a lot of those things.
Like tonality doesn't really exist.
Like you could say, "Oh, I know you hate peanut butter and jelly," and they'll say, "No, I don't.
Yes.
I really like peanut butter and jelly."
Yes, it's like
Right.
social
So
cues.
so you're saying it that they do like it, right?
Right. So they're vulnerable. They're left vulnerable.
And we can't leave them alone. They're neither one of them can be left alone.
Right. And so we each have
Really
have
unreal.
that. So we were able to, I think, unless you deal with that, it's hard to explain to somebody what those challenges are. So obviously that was something that Tommy and I, that started our deep connection, because, we definitely bonded over that.
Being the same age, did they get along? Did they?
Your kid?
Do they know each other? That they're like, what's his deal with that?
It's very interesting, because we thought how great they're going to get along like a house on fire. But in reality,
they're
it's
okay
like
for 3-4 days.
It's like putting two negative charges together where neither one of them have the patience or capacity for the other.
Lack
because
of patience.
Their conditions. They really don't. They're not great to have around.
It's not like, hey, let's go on the boat, all of us, for 2 months. That's not happening.
No, not a good idea.
Understood.
We don't.
And they'll do things like, stop staring at me.
Right.
Stop making that noise with your fork.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are so incredible. Like,
I mean, it's
you guys are the
amazing.
best.
We're very patient.
You are.
No,
and that's what I
patience.
was going to say, because
I
parents.
don't have patience.
Well, you're getting better.
I mean, you have to get it.
But you do. And I think you figure out how to have patience. But I think that being a parent in general is an exercise in patience, in a, I don't want to say normal, in a regular, typical circumstance, right?
Absolutely.
And I do think it's important to point out, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that children on the spectrum, whatever it is, they have so many points of brilliance as well. They're so intelligent. And I think that's something that I always like to remind people of, because it's important that they have challenges, but they have a ton of strengths as well. And they're their own unique people and children. And I love what you guys are doing. And I think it's so important to bring so much awareness to it. And obviously, Raj and I are here to help you on that mission anytime you need us. We're here.
Well, I think just talking about it is a great thing.
Yeah.
And so how do you guys stay connected, though? Because you obviously have a lot of people in your life all the time. How do you guys find time to be together? Or do you, or do you not?
Like your alone time, your Tommy and Dee time.
But we just cherish the time we're together.
Right.
We really cherish the time we're alone together. And
we actually don't get a lot of alone time.
Right.
We try to do walks in the morning, and our walks in the morning are our alone time.
Right.
Rachel won't go on a walk with me.
That's not true.
by the time we turn on a movie or TV,
Sleeping.
Someone falls
Tell me
asleep,
about
right?
it. I'm right there with
He's
you.
out. He's out.
I'm
Roger can no longer watch movies.
No.
We've gotten
I have no interest. I'm just like,
gone.
I'd rather
He's
sleep.
gone. He's gone.
no, I would like to be able to, but I can't keep my eyes open.
Same.
There's a name for that disease. I don't know what it is. narcolepsy or something?
Yes, there actually is. It's also called living a very exhaustive life, you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
It also is
But
that,
things can't
for which
be,
we're all very
things can't be
blessed.
that exhausting. So you guys are, obviously international jet setters. So like, what's the most
Of the
fun?
best
What's the most
kind.
fun you've ever had together? Like, what's like that? Like, when could you because Rachel and I have a few moments in our time, like, oh my God, I can't believe we did that, or we were there, and that was just like magic.
Like one of those moments where you're like, that was magical. Everything about that experience, whether it was a day, a night,
like
or
together,
like 10 days.
what's the thing that you look back on? And
I bet it's the times on your boat.
Skiing. We love skiing together.
wow.
And we love, being on the Med, on the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved our honeymoon, actually. We went to the Maldives
Yeah, that
and
was fun.
I just loved that experience so much. I loved every moment of it. I savored everything, the house on the stilts and the
Yeah.
beautiful water. And I have really great memories of, and we were alone for a week.
Right.
which was
Right.
like,
Totally. That's a thing.
So, yeah,
but Dee, you are everything I'm not. You're everything I aspire to be. Like I watch your Instagram and she's like in the water. She's like swimming with fish. She's like diving off the boat. She's like doing all these incredibly adventurous things. And for me, I would be on the boat with you just waving and being like, yay, Dee, good job. Rachel, you coming? No.
No, I love the water. I've grown up, actually my name is derived. My dad is Turkish. So my name is actually Deniz, Deniz, and it means sea in Turkish.
Oh, no
and my
way.
dad loved the ocean, named me after the sea. And from a kid, I wanted to be a marine biologist. And I've always loved the ocean. I still do. If I can get in the water, you'll see me in the water.
That's amazing. I think that'll be something I do in like 10 years, in that moment where you face your like greatest fear of it's just the unknown.
Are you really afraid of the ocean?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I haven't really gone in since I was 9, but I admire it and I love to look at it. I love to look at it, just not go in it.
No,
True story. Oh my God, you guys. Okay. So
from what I'm reading in the real estate news, you guys are obviously having a moment of consolidation, if you will. So what does this mean? Like, it seemed like for the first years together, you were like buying homes and redecorating them. Now you seem to be selling them all. What's going to happen in 20 years?
Dee mentioned that, though.
What are we going to do?
Last year, you guys said that.
What are we going to be in 20 years? Where do you guys where are you going to live?
What's the dream?
What's the dream? Where are you going? What's going on?
I'm not allowed to even consider moving again. So
So you're going to live in this hotel room your whole life?
No, I think they're going to pick one place or two.
that's the M word. So we have the next house we
The move word? Is that what you mean?
The M
Yes,
word.
the
move word. I can't use that. I cannot even.
It's the worst, you guys. And the fact that you're still standing here so in love after a lot of moves. Honestly, we've survived. This is number 13 for us. We just did. And so
Wow.
I think
13.
it's soul crushing. However,
Really is. It really, really is.
it's hard on everybody. It just
So
is.
we're doing one more renovation,
Okay.
and then I'm told we can't move again. So,
Well, we'll see what happens with that.
but I think the lifestyle in Palm Beach is really nice.
It is.
The weather
It's
is
beautiful.
great.
It's
It's
incredible.
a beautiful area.
It is.
Great
It's gorgeous.
tax-wise.
Yep.
Yeah.
Near Dee's parents.
Yep. Oh, that's amazing.
We've been thinking about it for some time.
Yep.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you how many East Coasters we know that have moved there full time.
Oh, my
in
God.
some part of Florida.
And West Coasters. I mean, people are coming from all over.
Yeah.
yeah.
Moving to
Some
Florida.
people from LA that have moved out.
Really?
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. I mean, we're so happy here, but we're California people. We just are, I think, for life,
Until
right?
we start making like $500 million a year, and then you're gonna be like, "Well, Florida sounds great."
I love Florida. I love Florida. I do.
It's great. I'm really appreciating it, especially when it's like,
Believe it or not, when
8
we
degrees.
visited you,
She said she was over it. She just didn't want to
when we
keep.
visited you guys I was a couple of years ago, or
Was
maybe
it
last year.
Was it literally?
That was
last
the first
November?
time that Rachel and I really enjoyed Florida, Miami. It was interesting, and
We found
and
love
part of
with
it was
it.
because we saw people living there. Like you guys were just like, "Oh, a normal day. Like, what would this be like?" And it was just for me. I don't know. I felt like we loved Miami when it was like really early Miami. You know,
We had like 90s
Jason
in
bin
South
Miami.
Beach, you guys.
Jason
and-
I
bin
have to tell
Miami,
you that
and then
Miami is like that.
It's
you guys
happening
now.
again.
I know.
and that's what I felt. I felt that way, and I really liked it. Anyway,
No, but now Miami is like it was in the 90s.
I agree.
so many people in Miami and no one can find housing. And it's
No,
the same.
it's crazy what's happening.
And Palm Beach is like Bel Air, Beverly Hills.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Trust me, I think we're just, listen, that I think as we get a little bit older, we just like
Just want peace and quiet.
just
Come
want
on.
serenity a little bit, right? A healthy plant-rich diet can truly build a foundation for exquisite health. And with Sakara, you can get exactly that without ever having to sacrifice taste. Sakara is a nutrition company that focuses on overall wellness, starting, of course, with what you eat. Their meals are ready to eat, which makes eating healthy every day incredibly easy. With Sakara, each meal is chef-crafted and designed to boost your energy, improve digestion, and get your skin glowing. I have to tell you, Sakara is like no other food plan I've tried. I'm not someone who loves to do these excessive cleanses or weird diet things. I actually like to do Sakara so that I feel better and know that I'm eating enough, that I'm eating the right food, and that what I'm eating has enough nutrition and vitamins to give me my energy. And honestly, my skin never looks better than when I'm on Sakara. And I like that the thinking is actually done for me. And, I am really, really a believer in Sakara and the program. It does not feel like a diet. It actually just feels like a healthy way of life that you don't have to do the work for. So along with the delicious plant-rich meals, Sakara also offers daily wellness essentials like supplements and herbal teas, which are so good to support your nutrition. Experience the transformative power of plants with their best-selling Metabolism Super Powder. Made with organic, raw cacao, it works to boost energy. It actually eliminates bloating, and it minimizes your sugar cravings and actually reduces fatigue. And right now, Sakara is offering our listeners 20% off their first order when they go to sakara.com/Zoe or enter code Zoe at checkout. That's Sakara, SAKARA.com/Zoe to get 20% off your first order. Sakara.com/Zoe. We're going to ask you 5 super fun questions, a little newlywed style, like...
Okay.
A little, we're going to ask Dee to guess Tommy's and Tommy's to guess Dee's.
I selected a few of them.
You did?
So you have to answer for each other. I just think it's interesting because he's a designer. They're both designers.
Yes.
Tommy, if Dee could have unlimited access to any store, but she could only wardrobe herself in that store, what store would it be?
I know the answer.
Oh, my God.
And let's see if she
And we
picks
can't
it.
include Tommy's store.
Well, no,
Not
I
including
mean,
Tommy's
you have to abstain.
Real.
Oh, is that a oh,
Yes.
wow.
It's an addiction.
But
It's an
by
addiction.
the way, that was a
addiction.
multi-line. Tommy's
That's
very
good,
smart. He
smart.
did a multi-line retailer.
Wait,
so
Tommy's smart, really?
So he didn't have to say one brand.
Okay, Dee,
All
what
right.
about you? What's Tommy's?
What's Tommy's? And I'd like a brand here. I want to know
And I
what Tommy
can't say
loves as a
Tommy
brand.
Hilfiger.
No.
No, but
Something
I
other than
think
Tommy.
everyone wants to know who Tommy would like to wear. I think that's cool. Like, who do you like?
Okay, let me think about this for a minute. I think Tommy's brand would be maybe Loro Piana.
I was going to say that.
I mean, that stuff feels good.
No, he's not too bad.
Cucinelli.
Incredible
Yeah.
quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. He's like gets in that store and starts feeling
Yeah,
the
just
game.
yarns are
things.
unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean,
The yarns are
It's just
amazing.
you have to. Do you think how many handprints get on the clothes in the stores? I'm just
no, he
wondering.
does, and he loves the shoes, and yeah, I think that would be
Yeah, Loro-
his.
yeah, Loro
right?
Piana.
Did I answer that right?
You did.
Did we win?
Yeah, you went
Yeah.
ding
Well,
ding.
you went
Yes.
ding, 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 ding,
Ding, ding, ding, ding.
Okay,
All right.
wait. Tommy, if Dee were to get arrested, what would it be for? Oh my God, that's amazing.
Heavy foot.
So do I.
But if I go over the speed limit,
Oh,
she'll
that's
say,
like-
"Slow
yes.
Slow down.
Yes, 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 yes.
I totally drive like a dude. I totally do. Oh my God.
So,
All
Dee,
right,
what would
Tommy get arrested for?
Yeah, what would
Oh,
Tommy?
that's easy. He would get arrested for driving while texting.
Oh.
Like every
yeah.
teenager in
Tommy sort of is a little bit like a teenager,
He
though.
is,
He's
he
very
is.
into pop culture. Like, all
Try to do it at a stoplight.
By the way, I'm surprised he hasn't gotten arrested.
right, well, let's not alert the
knock wood,
authorities.
knock wood, knock wood, knock wood. Oh my God. Okay, babe, you go. We're almost done.
I also like this question is kind of interesting, especially for you guys. Tommy, if Dee were a piece of furniture, what would she be?
Is it weird that I know? It's just because I envision what it would be.
A little bit weird.
I envision.
She would be a floor lamp because I like she's long and lean.
Oh, she totally
like a
is.
tall drink of water.
I was thinking like a settee. I was thinking like I could totally see Dee like lounging on that, right?
Like to lounge around.
Yeah, like a day
like
bed.
in a caftan,
I can see like a
just
day
chilling
bed.
in a day
Yeah,
bed.
like a day bed.
I have the visual. I just went to an editorial spread, so I don't know. That's where I went.
All right, Dee, what piece of furniture is Tommy?
Okay, that's a really odd question.
I know.
But,
We actually haven't asked it yet.
It's just it's interesting though. You got to kind of think about it.
Okay, so I would have to say Tommy would be like a oak dining table, like a very strong oak dining table, like solid, reliable.
I totally
strong.
agree with this.
Oh,
I agree with that.
Very
Dee.
well said.
and large enough to
Like
accommodate.
everyone could be around it.
That's really deep, by the
Is
way.
Tommy an oval or round? I just want to know, is he oval, round, or is he just a rectangle?
I think he's
He
round.
is I would say rectangle.
So his
Or no,
corners,
maybe he could
sharp
be
edges?
round,
Yeah.
round,
I think he's round.
inclusive.
Yeah,
like round,
exactly.
Yeah.
inclusive, yeah.
All right, karaoke. What's your go-to karaoke? What's Tommy's go-to karaoke song, if any? I have a terrible fear of karaoke, so I can't answer this question.
I don't know that you've done we've done it once.
Well, you did it and
I
jumped in the water with all of your clothes on after.
So that was a fun night.
That was
So
a terrible
fun
night. Why do you mention that night to us? Why do you mention any of the good nights to us?
Well, I don't know. Maybe yours would be. I don't know. Did you do karaoke that night?
I didn't do it that night.
It could just be his favorite song. Like, what does he belt
Tommy's
out?
favorite all-time song.
Yeah, what does he
I
belt
think
out?
it would be like a Stones song,
For sure.
like No Satisfaction.
Yep.
That's what I would pick for him.
because I just know all the words to the Stones songs.
Yeah.
Of course. Okay, what's Dee's favorite song?
Or karaoke
That she would
song.
karaoke if she does karaoke, but if not, what's Dee's favorite song?
Oh, she just
Don't
told.
Stop Believing,
She
Journey.
just told me.
Ah, that's a good one.
Rachel loves that song.
I'm
Don't
more
Stop
Stones
Believing.
person. I'm
But
more
you
a
also
Stones
like Mary
person.
J. Blige.
I
Yeah, but
love
my-
it.
Ooh, this actually might even happen one day. Okay, Dee, if you had to cast an actor in the biography of Tommy Hilfiger, who would you cast
Oh my
as that character?
These are killing me. Who would I cast?
This is your last one. I promise.
Oh my God. I'm
thinking about it too, by the way.
I
Yeah, I
have
don't
the
know.
actors in my
Young
mind, but I
Tommy
can't think of
or-
his name.
Well, it would have to be young to older.
Okay.
We'd have to have all Tommies. But you can pick one.
We'll talk 90s Tommy, okay? Like 90s,
90s
2000s.
Tommy, okay.
You know, 90s, 2000.
When my hair was the color of Roger's.
Yeah. More or less.
I have really no idea. Do you?
Tommy does.
You got me. You stumped me with that one.
Okay, that's fine.
That
Tommy,
one
who would
I-
play you?
Tommy, who would
In
you
a
want?
dream, who'd
well,
you
who
wanna
would you want?
cast?
Yeah, who would you want to play you? Don't
Jim
say Leonardo DiCaprio.
Jim
Jim
Carrey.
Carrey because I need to laugh. I really need to laugh.
You're not feeling like a Leonardo DiCaprio vibe? Like I'm feeling.
Well, I mean, if you want to put me in the Leo Brad Pitt vibe, I mean, that's like
No, there's an actor I'm thinking of. I can't think of it, though.
And who's playing Dee Ocleppo?
Yeah, who's playing Dee in her biography?
I already know.
God.
I know who he's going to say.
Who's playing Dee in her? Margot Robbie.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
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 If you
I
wanna
love her.
If you want to go way back, Lauren Bacall when Lauren was like,
Yes, I see that too.
Yes. Okay, so you guys, I just want to say thank you so much. I don't want
Thank
to take
you,
any more of your
thank
time. We want to say this has been so fun. You guys really are our heroes. We love you so much. It's one of those things, every time we see you, like before we see you, we're always like, we're so excited to see them. And then after we leave you, we get in the car, we're like, don't you just
love them?
They're like the best. Like they're just like magic together, and you just
Just
love
feel
each
good
other.
being around you guys.
Exactly the same
Same,
about
exactly.
you.
So
We
nice.
say exactly the same about you guys.
Well,
too.
we can't wait to visit
That's
you
deep
in Palm
love.
Beach or wherever you are going to be.
We
when
will,
this
wherever the palm trees
nightmare
are, we'll
ends.
find you.
Let us know when you're in town.
I know.
All
Hopefully
right.
Love
soon,
you.
you guys. We
Thank
love you
you.
deeply. This is so fun.
Much love.
So, it's very fitting that this is the July 4th week because our guests on our podcast today, an American icon of all icons and fashion icon, and just a complete legend in my eyes, the one and only
Tommy Hilfiger.
And his incredible superwoman, super wife, super mom, Dee Ocleppo Hilfiger. And we are so excited that they were on today because I learned so much. I thought I knew them forever and so well and everything about them, but clearly we didn't.
No, we did not. For our listeners who can't see Miss Hilfiger, she's quite stunning. So I just want everyone to have that image in their mind because a lot of people know what Mr. Hilfiger looks like. But I will also say, for those of you who don't know what Mr. Hilfiger looks like,
we're looking at him.
What he looks like, or more importantly, who he is, because apparently some of you younger listeners may not know who Mr. Hilfiger is. He is one of the world's most iconic designers. He gave Rachel her first break and gave her the first opportunity to do a really big styling job. I remember when Rachel got that job. That's how long this history is with this man. The other thing I would like to remind everyone is that the reason why Mr. Hilfiger is so beloved, not only is he successful as a designer, but he's also been really one of the true people who distill culture as we see it. So he's someone that you look towards. Also, a lot of people that don't know him as a designer clearly know him from a businessman perspective.
I was going to say,
he's one of him and Ralph Lauren. Those are the Calvin Klein, Ralph, and Tommy, and now Michael Kors are probably the most well-known designers. Also because they're
Donna Karan.
Well, yeah, but probably not as well known. Maybe. But I'm just saying, like,
yes,
because they've crossed over into Americana, and that's the important thing.
Agreed.
It's one thing to be a fashion designer. It's another thing to be part of American culture.
I couldn't agree more. And I think to go back, I do want to reiterate, because there are so many people that love to take some kind of credit for me becoming Rachel Zoe, which I obviously is not really possible to do, but I would say someone who has never taken the credit and never will take the credit, Mr. Tommy Hilfiger, who actually did give me a chance and saw something that I couldn't see and took a huge chance on me on the biggest job of my career when I think I was 24 years old. And I've never been more nervous or scared. And it turned out to be, to this day, one of the most extraordinary jobs of my life and my career. So I also would like to wax poetic for 1 minute about the beautiful, brilliant, shining light that is Dee Ocleppo, because she is someone that, I don't know, if you ask Tommy, I mean, I think he'd probably say she's his everything. I mean, she's a force, and I love her madly. So.
And this is a relationship podcast.
Totally. But, as you can see, Raj and I crush on both of them. And I would say, it's funny. I thought I knew kind of their love story, but I didn't actually know their love story. And it was much more complicated than I thought.
What love story isn't complicated, my love?
Yeah, fair. Okay. Well, I'm very excited for you guys to hear it. I hope you love it as much as we do, because we're super proud of this episode. And we think it's just absolutely fitting that it's during July 4th week.
And if you've liked what you've heard so far, please make sure you're subscribed on Apple Podcasts and give us a rating and review. And keep listening, please. Also, check us out on our Instagram at works.for.us. Again, that's at works.for.us. We're also super excited that we have a call-in number so you can tell your own story or just ask us a question. So if you want to share your own story or ask us a question, you can give us a ring at the WFU hotline. That's 657-549-2251. Again, 657-549-2251, and we just might share your story or answer your question on the show itself. So, Rach, what is your highlight for this week? Because it's been quite a week. I know what your low light is.
Yeah, I know. My low light is so obvious.
Did you just want to say it because it's really bummed you out the whole week?
I got to tell you, it's really hard because, I never thought I was that dog parent that thought my dog was like one of my children. It just wasn't my thing. I just sort of secretly made fun of those people, just because. But, Goldie got her first haircut and, I'm known to be a little controlling and micromanaging, and I totally get that. But
especially about hair looks.
Yeah. And I do definitely art direct all the hair in this family. I do.
She usually calls the person cutting my hair before I get my hair cut to give them explicit instructions.
It's true. It's very true.
And
with my
actually,
children
Rachel,
and Rodger.
did you not call this specific hair groomer and ask her and give her specific instructions?
Well, I actually did more than that. I spoke to her in person for almost 30 minutes, not just about life and our kids, but about a good 10 of that 30 was about the length of the hair that I wanted to keep on Goldie. It was important that the kids had the fluff and that she still remained a fluffy puppy. And lo and behold, Rodger picked her up, brought her home, and she walked in kind of looking like an alien poodle.
Now, I'll remind all our listeners, we agree this is an absolutely ridiculous thing to be upset about.
This is not, I am fully aware that this justifies
much more important things.
Zero attention in the scheme of life. This is absolutely the most unimportant thing. But listen, I do like to share with my listeners a low point for me.
Oh, believe me, you said it 1,000 times. You know what I said to Rachel? I'm like, the hair's gonna grow back. Stop talking about it. I'm just
saying Goldie was depressed about it. She lost her groove in her step. She woke up this morning feeling a little more confident and she's running around happy.
Well, I also noticed
she was shook.
While we're on this by the way, she's eating
zipper?
something. Yeah, she's eating a zipper. Get that off of her. Also, to continue this banal conversation, I will say that ever since some of the conditioner has worn off of Goldie, her hair's getting a little fluffier. So I think there's still hope for the shaggy. See, he's a little shaggy now. All right. Wow. We spent a long time on Goldie's haircut there. Rach, what about a highlight of the week? Something that you're happy about?
There's a Starbucks near our house in the Hamptons, and you've been going every morning before I wake up.
And I'll remind all our listeners that unfortunately Starbucks is still not a sponsor of our show, although they really should be, because it's just part of Rachel's life.
But we'd really like to thank all the incredibly generous, amazing sponsors that we've had.
In any event, I'm going to talk about my highlights of the week. You know what my highlight of this week is?
Oh, no. I'm so scared.
Well, it's not that scary. One of our companies that we invested in 8 years ago just got sold. And that is a very big highlight for us.
This means Rodger's gonna be in a good mood.
Well,
at least for a day.
Like an hour. It also might mean
he won't be such a curmudgeon.
It also might mean that young Rachel might get something nice for her 30th bearing with me anniversary present. See, people will say it's a 30th anniversary, and I agree, it is an anniversary, but it's more like 30 years of, oh my God, thank you for dealing with me anniversary. Don't you think?
Like you're thanking me for dealing with you?
100.
Oh, okay.
But, my friend, you will also be thinking of me for dealing with you for 30 years. So that's a really highlight. I really, congratulations to Heath and Olivia from New Order. They crushed it out of the park, and that was amazing. Low light of the week. What would I have to say is my low light this week? I've been in a generally happy mood.
Have you? Is that what this is?
Yeah. You mean me being very manic? That's pretty happy.
Oh, I have to talk to the boys about that and let them know this was a good mood week.
Oh, yeah.
We need to know the signs of the good versus the grump.
Anyway, the low light, I would say it's the rainy weather out here.
I love it.
Actually, I kind of like it because in LA, it's always so nice. So I don't know. I'm going to have to skip on the low light. I really can't.
Your life is so good right now. So full.
It's so full of energy and life. Did you just fall asleep?
Yes.
Please wake up, Rachel.
Okay. And we'll see you next week on Works for Us.
Did you just sing Works for Us?
I did.
Can you sing it again?
And I'll see you next week on Works for Us.
It's our new jingle.
Hey, it's my dad's 84th birthday. That's my highlight.
Wow, that is my highlight too. 84.
And by the way, way more fun than either of us. Way more patient
Speak for yourself,
than you.
Debbie Downer.
Listen, I am not Debbie Downer. I just like to have control over my mind at all times. There's a difference.
This is Dr. Laurie Santos from the Happiness Lab. Many people have questions about how to improve levels of happiness. Living a healthy lifestyle is one sure way of increasing happiness. And a good place to start is with your oral health. Just a few small changes to your oral care routine, such as changing your toothpaste to Colgate Total, can lead to beneficial changes in your oral health. Colgate Total helps stop oral health problems like gingivitis and cavities before they start, because preventing oral health problems is a lot easier than treating them. Be dentist ready and get Colgate Total at shop.colgate.com/total.
Imagine relying on a dozen different software programs to run your business, none of which are connected, and each one more expensive and more complicated than the last. It can be pretty stressful. Now, imagine Odoo. Odoo has all the programs you'll ever need, and they're all connected on one platform. Doesn't Odoo sound amazing? Let Odoo harmonize your business with simple, efficient software that can handle everything for a fraction of the price. Sign up today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
There are some things that are too good to keep a secret. Like how your Amex Platinum card helps you have the perfect trip. I'd like to check into the Centurion Lounge. Or how it seems like you always get those hard-to-snag tables.
Ooh, yum.
And how you get the most out of select can't-miss events. With access to the Centurion Lounge, Resi Priority Notified, and Amex card member benefits at select events, you'll have to share. That's the powerful backing of American Express. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/withAmex.